Hey guys, welcome back to the Profit Channel. You guys know in this channel we try to profit from stocks, crypto, and we talk about real estate. Today I'm going to be talking about Palantir and what institutions are secretly doing behind the doors, and how you can find out what's happening right now. Nobody's talking about this. Everyone is talking about, oh, am I selling Palantir? Am I keeping it? The reason why I'm not selling, oh, they're having a bad quarter, this, that. Okay, so we'll touch base on all of those. Now, just to get the elephant out of the way, they really did screw up on the latest earnings. They were missing, the commercial and governmental contracts. They went down. That's a very huge disappointment. But just keep in mind, all companies, even companies, as good as like Apple, which is untouchable, even they're not doing too well. Their forecasts are pretty low for the coming year. We're in a recession, so you can't expect these guys to be doing too well. But um, the only one thing that I would say about recession and Palantir is that Alex Karp kept saying that whole, bad times are good for us and we're gonna be doing well, which made sense. So I mean, the fact that we have a conflict going on and all that, it should, be bringing up their sales. But I'll tell you the reason why the sales are not as good as it's supposed to be. And the reason for that is because these contracts that these guys try to lock in, they take a long time. They're not like, $100,000 contracts that they can just close in like a couple of weeks. It takes a lot of going back and forth. It takes a lot of, the salespeople to talk to the other side and say, hey, like this is what it is, and it's just a lot of back and forth till you accomplish like $100 million contract that they recently got. So it takes a long time. That's why they were a little frustrated as well, because they were, Shyam was saying that it takes a long time for these contracts to actually show up on our balance sheets, right? It's not something they can lock in right away. So yeah, that's, I mean, everyone is doing bad, so are these guys. But the one thing that I hated about the um uh, the call that they had with their investors, like that was a shit show, man. Like these, like uh, Alex Karp is like, I've been very vocal about him in the past as well. If you watch my videos, I don't like him. He is way too cocky. Like if you're cocky and you can't back it up with like your company or your earnings or whatever, then why are you being cocky anyway? And then this guy, um he was slamming his hands on the table, throwing like a tantrum. You can't do that as a CEO. Like, so Peter Thiel, needs to step up. Like, I mean, Peter Thiel is not someone like Chamath, who's like just, lying to through his teeth and like having all these failed SPACs or whatever. This guy, Peter Thiel, is pretty established. Like anything that he's done so far, whether it's been with like PayPal or whatever, it's been successful, right? Like he's a very successful, smart person. But I think it's time for him to kind of step in here and say, hey, man, like, the management, you guys are either all fired, or you guys need to step up, and you can't be, acting childish and philosophical, and all the stuff that they're doing that is not really looking good for them. So now getting back to the core of this video, which is basically something that institutions are doing that no one is talking about right now. And that you can research for yourself. I mean, I'm in between work. Sometimes some guy was like, why are you doing videos from different cars? It's because this is the only time that I get, right? I don't get, when I go home, it's like you want to be with your family. I don't have really time. Sometimes I do videos in my garage, but most times whenever I get time, it's either, like after gym in my car, or like right now in between breaks from work, I'm just doing a video for you guys. So But anyways, that aside, don't want to get sidetracked, but this is what the institutions are doing behind the scenes, right? So no one is paying attention to this and no one is talking about this, but there's an easy way for you guys to find out what institutions are actually doing, because actions are more important than words. Anyone can come out and say whatever they want, but actions are very, very crucial. Now I'm going to show you guys a way to see what the institutions and big money are thinking when it comes to a company, right? So this can apply to any company. Now if you guys go to your computers and you go to a website called fintel.io, so that's fintel.io, and then you're going to get a search bar. So if you put PLTR, Palantir, and you hit search, you're going to get a bunch of results. Just click on the first one, and then when you go there, there's a few tabs there. One of the tabs, it says ownership or owners. If you click on that, there will be a drop down menu. On the drop down menu, you can go to sellers or buyers. Now I did both, so I went to sellers to see like what, if anyone is selling like in big chunks. This is the stuff that you don't see, obviously, right? So but these are the 13F type filings, right, for buyers. Now if you go to sellers, there's normal selling here, there, 100,000 here, a million there, whatever, and you could track it down to a few months. But if you go to buyers and you scroll down, you're gonna see huge buys just in August. So if you go to, I think it's August 12th, and 13F filing for um, Vanguard. Vanguard is one of the biggest institutions, as you guys know. They buy, stocks in bulk. If you go to it, it will show you that they just made a purchase of 159 million shares. Okay, let that sink in. 159 million shares they just bought for Palantir. All right. Now, what do they know that you don't, right? So now scroll down a bit more. Then you're going to see BlackRock buying like 50 million or 52 million shares. Okay. These are the two of the biggest. And then you're going to see a whole bunch of like 20 million share buys by institutions, 7 million, 10 million. It is just going on and on and on. And these guys are buying so much. Like, they're buying for a reason, because this company has a bright future. Yes, they screwed up in their and the management has been a shit show from the beginning. Like I said, we've talked about that. I even made a video that says that why Alex Karp is poisonous to Palantir. You can watch that video too. Like this guy, came on and he was talking about like German philosophy and this and that. Like, we don't want to hear that kind of stuff. We want to hear like what your plans are, what you're going to be doing, how you're going to be improving the company. These salespeople that you've hired, what are they doing? Are they doing anything, or you're just, because all the latest stock compensation that they made, it went down from like last quarter and the year before and so on. It's dropping, but at the same time it's a lot. And all these stock based compensations are coming from our pockets, right, the investors. So is the sales team paying off? Like, we know that it can't pay off right away, because again, I spoke about it. It takes a while for these bigger contracts to be locked in. It's not something they can do right away. It's a lot of back and forth. Sometimes it takes months to even lock in one big contract. So yeah, it's gonna show up, but the ER didn't look good. We get it. The salespeople that they're paying so much for, hopefully they're doing something. So these are the things that, and what they were talking about in the conference call was just like, hopium and the sales tactic that like the stuff that you hear from like a snake oil seller type of thing, right? Like it's just, it was like either they think we're stupid, or I don't know what the issue is, but they need to step up. The management, especially like the Alex Karp. I don't know about this guy, man. Like, he has no actual software or hardware experience. This guy studied psychology or something, or sociology or whatever that he did in school. Like, he's not even qualified to be here. Plus, the way he speaks, the way he represents himself, not a good look for Palantir. That's why I'm saying, like, Peter Thiel needs to step in here and take over and just transform this company, because the company obviously has a lot of potential. And them being so cocky, the management right now, without backing it up, and hanging up on like, and cutting calls, and like, just like, you ask them questions, a little hard questions, and they get like really sour, and that's not all good looks. But anyways, that my biggest hope is that I see all these institutions that are buying huge, and that's a really positive thing for the company. It makes me feel good about my. I'm not selling yet. I'm gonna give them some time, like, just to give them a couple of quarters to see how they do, because everyone is doing bad, right? And again, it's not like them selling an iPhone where like it happens right away. These contracts do take time, so I'm going to give him some time to play out, give him the benefit of the doubt, but yeah, I mean, looking at those huge institution buys, they're making these buys for a reason. They have hundreds of analysts that analyze. They have tools that we don't have, so they know something that we obviously don't. And it makes me feel really good to see the inflow as opposed to the outflow. So there's a lot of money coming into the company with these institutions that are buying the stock as opposed to selling it. So that's a really good thing. I don't want to keep this video too long. I need you guys please to subscribe. I need 1,000 subscribers. We're going to do some giveaways and things like that, and any monetization will be going to charity. So make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks.